Welcome to my presentation about research methods. My name is Richard Robinson, and this is my third semester at Kaiser University. I'm in the doctorate program in psychology, and I am enjoying every moment of this experience, even the challenging moments such as behavioral neuroscience. As stated, the following presentation is about research methods. It is one of the assignments for the completion of my first doctoral residency at Kaiser. Additionally, featured in this presentation will be 3 hypothetical research questions about a mental health issue based on an article concerning social media use. This study includes 3 research questions: the purpose of the study, the target population, sampling strategy, the data collection methods, the data analysis strategy, the optimization of the variables, the potential limitations of the study, and the ethical considerations. Finally, thank you for watching this presentation, and I hope you enjoy it. As stated in Murphy 2024, the misuse of social media among children is one of the leading causes of depression, anxiety, body dysphoria, eating disorders, low self-esteem, and social comparison. These conditions are based on the use of social media for more than 3 hours per day and are more destructive among adolescent girls. Further, this study will focus on depression and none of the other psychological issues mentioned due to improper social media use. In addition, the Cunningham et al. Article noted that the researchers found that a weak but significant correlation between depression and the time spent using social media and no other variables such as the intensity of the social media sites used and the problems associated with specific sites. Finally, the authors stated that future research is needed in this area due to its importance concerning the mental health of our most marginalized, vulnerable, and susceptible population, children and adolescents. The following are the 3 research questions related to the subject matter. H1, the extensive use of all kinds of social media platforms each week, more than 3 hours per week, leads to depression among teenagers, ages 14 to 18. H2, is age a confounding variable of depression among teenagers? Are younger students affected more than older students? And H3, is gender a confounding variable of depression among teenagers? Are more females psychologically damaged by the extensive use of social media than males? What is the purpose of the study? The purpose of the study is to find out if the extensive use of social media, e.g. over 21 hours per week, causes depressive disorder symptoms in teenagers. The reason for this study is to see if the research questions are validated, because the answers can assist leaders in developing effective governmental policies for limiting social media use among teenagers. In the Murphy 2024 article, the Surgeon General stated that excessive use of social media poses a risk to children of high school age. He mentioned that 95% of high school age students reported they use social media daily. Further, at this time, students' brains are still developing, making the use of social media a potentially harmful behavior at this age. This behavior can be equated with doing drugs or drinking alcohol at these ages and its effects on the still growing brain. Moreover, not to mention that some social media platforms include violent, pornographic, sexually explicit, bullying, and harassment type behaviors. The amount of time that children and adolescents spend on social media, for instance, spending more than 3 hours per day, social sites has been a predictor for depression, especially in adolescent females, and other maladies such as body image issues, low self esteem, and eating disorders. Further, in a study of 56 people from an Asian country, the researchers used the Center of Epidemiology Studies depression scale and found that the higher use of social media causes the highest risks of depression in people, especially teenage females. The target population for the study are teenagers between the ages of 14 to 18 who are in a Western U.S. high school and who use social media daily. The total amount of the target population used in the study should be about 500 high school students to ensure generalizability of the study results. The sampling strategy used in this is a simple random probability sampling method where the participants are selected randomly, assigned a random number, and the subjects are picked using a table of random numbers. According to Cresswell 2012, a simple random sample is the most used and the most demanding form of probability sampling there is. One of the measures used in the study is a depression self-rating scale as a measure of depression among adolescents. Additionally, before the start of the DSRS, there will be questions related to demographic and social media information about the student's age and gender, grade in school, and the ranking of what social media platform they use, e.g. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, or X, frequency of use, and the amount of hours per week. The study is quantitative because it will use the results of survey data for analysis. According to Jansen and Warren 2020, quantitative analysis is used to determine the differences between groups. For example, what ages of teenagers use social media more than others. Used to measure the correlations between variables and test hypotheses. E.g., do students who have high social media use also suffer from depressive disorders? The four variables operationalized are social media behavior, depression, age, and gender. Included in social media behavior are the different subvariables such as frequency of use, social media platform used, and the amount of usage per week. Further, concerning the depression variable, if students report they use social media more than 20 hours per week, do they also score high on the DSRS depression scale? Also, does age play a role in whether students report depression and high social media use? In other words, are younger high school students more affected by excessive social media use than older high school students? Finally, the last research question is whether the gender of students plays a role in the reporting of depression during excessive social media use. A potential limitation of the study is that the subjects only consist of middle-class, mostly white, suburban American high school students. In other words, the results are only generalizable to these type of American high school students and not students from other SES statuses, races, cultures, and countries. For instance, children from the non-dominant U.S. culture and the developing nations of the world may not have the wherewithal to purchase a smartphone, a tablet, a laptop, or a desktop, and thus not have daily access to social media platforms. Finally, more research is needed to locate if the problem of extensive social media usage in depression in teenage girls or boys is universal. And finally, the primary ethical consideration of this study relates to the use of teenage high school students in the study, other than just 18-year-olds, as they are considered adults. This is because to use minors in research studies, the researchers need to obtain permission from the students and their parents for them to participate in the study. This is done to protect the privacy concerns of minors. In addition, according to Jungmann et al. 2023, multiple research studies with children and adolescents found low response rates, for example, 30 to 60%. And they found lower rates in Germany, for example, 30 to 35%. High dropout rates, for example, up to 60%, and low parental consent rates, for example, 30 to 40%. As seen from low response rates, higher dropout rates, and low parental consent rates, children and parents do not consider participating in research studies a high priority or ethically wrong.